customer of ours, and what I wanted to do is just take a few minutes for you future customers or customers considering foam to kind of hear why other people are considering foam, why other people are using foam, and a little bit about the whole experience of having us look at a job, having our out testing with Home Pro Inspections and Wally Conway, something we're really proud of being able to do. Just kind of wanted to know how you came about wanting to have foam. What was it that made you go toward the foam?
There was a lot of buzz and advertising about foam, the new concept, and it's becoming a major factor in construction. And I was very much aware of that, and I wanted a house that I'm going to live in until they carry me out of the house, and I want it done right. So foam made all the sense in the world. I had built houses for Haverjacks, and we used the traditional fiberglass and I know the positives and negatives of that, but I was convinced that foam was the way to go. I came across you two ways. One was I wrote down the number from your truck as it passed by one day. That was one way, but I also had a relationship with Wally Conway with Haverjacks, and I called him up and said, "What do you think about this foam concept?" And he gave it some really good, a good push, and then he recommended that I do business with you. So I trust Wally just tremendously, fine gentleman. So I followed up on it and contacted Synergy and you and Kyle. I was very impressed with the preliminary work that was done, just to size up my project and to see how foam was going to help. And the house was a fixer-upper, which had a history of, there was some leaks and there was bugs and there was this and that. It was a major fixer-upper. So we were starting from bare walls and bare ceilings and everything, which was really to our advantage, and found that it was best to foam the deck, roof deck, foam the walls, and foam under the house.
Anything that you've noticed that you noticed right away after the foam was put in? I know that yours, we went in, and after that the sheetrock was some things like that. But was there any impressions that you had once the foam was put in that you could notice a difference automatically? Maybe not energy savings because it takes time. Was there anything that stuck out in your mind?
Well, it actually took place in about the first 15 minutes of application. As the technicians sprayed the roof deck and the walls, as they moved through the house, it got quieter. And it just was amazing to me that the sound of my voice changed.
Yeah, sound quality.
The sound quality changed, and then that was it turned out to be an equal balance between the heat and cooling capacity, that of foam. But then right behind it was the quiet. I live very close to NAS across the river, lots of jet noise and plane noise, and they went away. So as they were going on, 15 minutes after starting, I said, "This is it. I've done the right thing, the right company." Technicians were very thorough. The house has a lot of complexities in the way it was built in 1950. There's a lot of hidden pockets that you don't get in modern construction, and the technicians were really going out of their way to get those difficult situations covered with foam. So every aspect of that was very positive.
Did you with the out testing and us using Home Pro Inspections and having a third party come in and actually look at what we're doing using blower door and thermal imaging technology to try and make sure that we are doing absolutely the best job that we can do? How was your experience with Home Pro Inspections? Did you feel a benefit from that versus having a company just say, "Hey, yeah, we did it and it's done right"?
I had used Home Pro on several different homes across the country, up in Maryland and Georgia. I am a Home Pro advocate, so it was great to have Wally come in personally and do the test. It's very scientific, but he translates it into language I can understand, and you can see visually with his thermal imaging device, you can just see where the hot spots are and where the voids might be. What took it the rest of the way was that your people were there when he was doing it, and you were the spot tweaks to the application. That I was very impressed with that. It wasn't putting a piece of blue tape on a spot and we'll get it later. He was getting them as we went along, and there weren't very many. In fact, I was 100% satisfied before Wally came. I was amazed that there could possibly be any little voids, and those are fixed. And then you topped it off by personally coming out and critiquing the job with the technicians that actually did it and taught them additional techniques and fine-tuning their way of doing it. I'm used to be in the quality process, and continuous improvement is just vital to the success of a company. So with your continuous improvement and teaching of those technicians, every job gets better and better. But I was very satisfied with what I have already. Now, during this final phases of my work on the house, which we're now into, all the electrical's done, the HVAC is done, the plumbing is done, the sheetrock's up. I have a final inspection called the certificate of occupancy to do yet, but every day I appreciate it more and more. The air conditioner might come on when I get to the house in the morning, then you just don't hear it again for quite some time before it kicks in. I put old-fashioned thermometers on the wall and in the other end of the house away from the thermostat. It reads right on the nose of what the thermostat says. I was skeptical about the attic being only 10 degrees warmer than the living quarters. It's less than 10 degrees. In fact, because my air conditioning is located in the attic, there's times when it's a little cooler in the attic than it is downstairs. Right. But it's always at the whatever temperature I set on the thermostat. It'll stay there, and then you can go up in the attic, and you swear it's cooler up there. On a 95 degree day, you just don't know it. And of course, the sound deadening quality continues with every once in a while those P3 Orions come over lower than usual. Just don't see them. If you don't step outside, you wouldn't know that they're going over the house. My neighbors, I have what I call sidewalk superintendents walking up and down the street in front of me, and as you know, you've probably heard me say the joke, I live $5 million from the river. Yes. So these are people with big houses that I've befriended, and they're all interested in what I'm doing, and every one of them to a person has said, wow, it's cool in here, it's quiet in here. This is really something. I'm going to look into this for my house. So it's working from that aspect. That I'm not just biased. I mean, they observe the very things that I noticed too.
Well, we think that the technology of what we do in the foam, and then add that to the practices and principles we have at Synergy, and we appreciate you doing business with us. And if we can do anything to help you and your future clients, we're here to help. This is Vince Kerr with Synergy Foam. Thank you.